Hi there everyone, it's your favorite DragonFan96 bringing you some more Balloons Tower Defense Battles Salt. And in this one, we got a good one for you today. And before we get started, our sponsor for today is winning 5 medallions, because my luck is terrible. Okay, and with that being said, let's move on to our first match, shall we? Alright, so, this was, I believe, just a normal match. There wasn't really any good game modes when I was doing this. So, yes, I used NFE, I know. So boring, because NFE is always used, and it's the broken strategy that we all love in BFB Coliseum. And I'm gonna get even more hate by doing this in Yellow Coliseum, or excuse me, Yellow Stadium. I always seem to call it Yellow Coliseum because I don't know, it's 3:30. Leave me alone. So I'm gonna basically have some NGs. They're ecoing kind of okay, not the greatest because you know, eco choke. I will say, I don't think they really know what they were doing, because they clearly was going to do Heli Ice, and they had Wizard and Spike Factory. But I'm going to tell you this right now, Heli is not entirely terrible, it's just really terrible late game. A lot of people seem to think, oh, well, it's going to be, like, unstoppable late game. Nah. It's not. It really isn't. So, right here, I set up my blind trap because, you know, lead protection. That's kind of like the one major weakness to NFE. A lot of people seem to think NFE is also broken. It's not. It really isn't. Now, right here, I kind of play a negative 200 IQ. Actually, wait, no, it's a little bit later. But, when I do Heli, the first priority for me is, instead of having it on Pursuit, I put it on a patrol setting in one spot and make sure that it has at least Razor Rotors. So that way the Razor Rotors act like an attack, and then the darts that clean up. Yeah, that was my negative 200 IQ. I thought I could tank that, but, you know, I didn't bother to do Glue Storm, but I decided to just put down a couple ninjas. Yeah, that'll clean it up. I should have Glue Stormed on that rush that they did, but, you know, it would have been worse if they did, like, camo pinks and then some leads on top of that, like camo leads. Right here, this was the power play right here. I sent a Moab with regen leads and a few zebras, and they DC on me. This will become a noticeable trend throughout the majority of this video, is either my opponent DCs or they get clapped. Well, I mean, every video they get clapped, so what's so special about that? Well, it's just that I just find it really hilarious. And with that, I'm gonna move on to our next opponent. Okay, so here's my next opponent, and this is kind of the reason why people don't want me to do Yellow Stadium. This match is a prime example, not gonna lie. So right here I got another boring set, which is bunch of balloons and cripple. I was trying to see if like I could do anything with cripple, but yeah. It's not nearly as good as Tower Blindness, to be honest. Right here, they send Space Pinks. I mean, it's not entirely a bad choice, because, I mean, you know, a wizard by itself, space like that, you know, pinks are going to sneak through, but once you get a ninja, then, you mean, not even blocks will save you. Right here, my opponent decides to put a Dartling gun, and kind of a okay spot. Like, I mean, if I was gonna do Dartling, I would put it, say, here, but that's just me. But anyways, yeah, it basically goes on like this for a while, so in the meantime, I guess I can just have a good old time. They get Dragon Flame, which is nice. I try to get my eco up to 500 because, for starters, they haven't once ecoed. Like, look at their eco. It's garbage. But anyways, they're playing more so defensive than offensive, really, is the point I'm trying to go for here. Right here, they get the Monkey Ace, and I'm like, oh, no, there is no way in hell that they're gonna get like a Ground Zero or Dart Storm or any sort of like Monkey Ace that will actually be helpful to them, unless they sold like literally everything just to get Dart Storm, and even then, I can just do regen lights and, well, they die. Right here, I was thinking, oh, well, I can probably destroy them, and yeah, their Dart lane being in a bad spot was a contributing factor to this, as well as the fact that had they got a Dart lane in the better spot, sold the Wizard, they could have gotten a 3-2 Dart lane, which is the laser cannon, and they would have been fine. They would have been fine until Moabs, at which point they could just put down a couple Wizards, or they could put down another Dart lane, and yeah, Moabs wouldn't be a problem. BFBs probably will, but by then, I mean, you would have so much money if you actually ecoed, but, you know. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next opponent. Okay, and we got... Oh. Alrighty then. I've finally gone off the deep end. I've sniffed too much monkey glue, and now I'm resorting to trash power loadouts. Yup, that's right. Even I decided to try the broken set known as QKS, or at least that's what I call it, is QKS, which is Quick Shot Salted Wounds Knockout. And I mean, I've done variations of it, which is I usually do Tower Blindness Salted Wounds because, you know, there's not many towers that actually are immune to Tower Blindness, such as Dartling and Heli. Right here, my opponent, once again, yeah, not the best Dartling position, and considering that they tried to farm with a Dartling instead of, say, put down some Dart Monkeys, like a normal person would, yeah, they made me get a lot of money and all these reds because they wanted to do Banana Farm first and put down a Dartling. And I also showed that I had quick shot. Yeah, not the brightest of matches, but I think it was just poorly executed, if you ask me. Like, I could probably do this exact same strategy and probably get a couple wins. Probably not very many, considering Dartling isn't entirely the best, because grouped pop power, if you don't have it, it can suck. But anyways, with that, I'm going to move on to our next opponent. Alrighty. So, once again, I have the garbage NFE. And, yeah, right here, I basically played it a little too poorly. I kind of did a few misplays, such as, well, for starters, not upgrading my damn engineer. The second is trying to tank these lives when I probably could have just glue stormed, but, you know, that would have been a waste of a glue storm in my opinion, but, you know. Anyways, this opponent was actually pretty salty for the fact that they really didn't want to lose lives, because I think that they thought I was going to have, like, Eco Choke Salted Wounds, which is a pretty common combo. And, not gonna lie, that's the combo I use in card battles, because Eco Choke and Tax is broken. It's still broken right here. Like I said, yeah, every time balloons sneak past that ninja, they would like panic and be like, oh shit, better put down more stuff. And yeah, they burned through their lightning bolts pretty fast because they were just like, oh shit. Right here, I don't know what my opponent was doing. They sold their ninja to put down another wizard, and I was just like, what are you doing? Okay, and here's another bold move that my opponent does, which is a little bit later. He sells another ninja just to get another 2/2 wizard, no camo. So they're probably like 2-1. Right there I was checking for camo. Okay. And then my opponent does the boldest of bold moves. They go all out. Eventually. Come on. Oh yeah, they send they sent some balloons. By the way, all those balloons, right there. That's the weakness to engineer, and honestly, that was pretty good. But they sold all their ninjas, their wizards, just for that to happen, and they got mad, and then they rage quitted. Like, well, I mean, they didn't exactly rage quit. They just like tried to DC stall, which is basically trying to DC to lag the game to where they didn't lose lives, but they kept DCing so much that the game just force booted you out because you can only DC so much until you lose. Like, you can't reconnect. There's a system where basically if you DC too many times, the game kicks you from the match and the other person will win by default. That's what this person did, and it was actually quite funny because every time those pinks went by, they would try to DC stall them to tank those lives, and they would take 0, which is basically like a pseudo god mode, and they would try to keep doing that with a, I'm gonna assume that's a 1/1 ninja. Yeah, good luck, buddy. And yeah, they DC'd too many times and they lost because they got upsetty. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna move on to our next opponent. Alrighty, so here is the next opponent. We got Suck. So with this, I decided to kind of fan away from banana farming because, I mean, it's not that this map isn't good for banana farming, because don't get me wrong, it actually kind of is, because it's nice, even one track kind of fits all kind of thing. It's just when you use water towers such as boat and sub, it's kind of terrible for this map because you can only fit like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 boats here, or maybe like at least probably 5 subs. Reactor ain't gonna do shit. Destroyer probably could, only until they reach like 3/4 of the way of the map. By then it's too late. And sub is kind of garbage against grouped pop power, even with ballistic missile. The only thing ballistic missile could probably do for you on this map is maybe pop the Moab layer by just like that fractional bit more, but that's about it. So right here, my opponent struggles for me to eco blue balloons, just ever so slightly, because they put their towers in just the perfect spot for this one power to be just absolutely broken. And I'm gonna speed this up a little, so that way it's a little bit faster. And yeah, this is why this ability, Tower Blindness, this is why Tower Blindness is so broken. Is because when you place towers on certain maps, this is a perfect map for Tower Blindness, by the way. Just like how Temple is perfect for Quick Shot because of how short it is. Another good Quick Shot map is like Zen Garden, Shallow River, Indoor Pools. That's why a lot of people hate those maps, because it's where you see Quick Shot the most. Okay, the other Tower Blindness map that I've noticed is actually really good is Ice Flow. It's because you're forced to use water towers, okay, such as boat and reactor, and nothing's more better than blocking the reactor's like AoE damage by making it to where they can't even pop a red balloon, let alone decamo-wise a balloon. So they just sneak right past. and it's pure bliss on ice flow. For here, when you have boats on that water, tower blindness makes it to where they can't even hit. And yeah, because of where they placed their wizard and ninja, yeah, all those balloons, they can't even reach it because of tower blindness. It's just that powerful. And yeah, I don't know why a lot of people don't use tower blindness, just like how a lot of people don't use DA, probably because, you know, they're probably trash powers, and, you know, a lot of people would rather use, say, super balloon boost, or Team Tower Stun jam-packed cripple, or whatever it is. But here I am, I'm gonna be that one guy that's like, tower blindness, bitch. And yeah, I'm gonna move on to our next opponent, and this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, so for this match only, I'm going to keep it at normal speed. So we got Dallin Stone YT, and they were okay, except for the part where they had knockout and salted wounds. Right here, I kind of choked on banana farm placement. The other thing I did was kind of choke on tack. So right there, they had salted wounds, so they forced me to use my first glue storm. Now, here's the thing: we both had the same strategy on this map because tack wizard's actually pretty good on this map. It's just that my tack placement probably could have been a little bit better, such as where his was. Now, this is the part where I have my own salted moments because, you know, even I can get a little salty. And this is the reason why I hate QKS, which is the reason why I did in that last match. I wanted to dip my toes into why it's so powerful, and, well, this is it. Here's the salted wounds, and, oh wait, he doesn't do knockout yet. This is where he probably does knockout. Yeah, this is where he does knockout. And I was just like, come on. Right here, I choke, I did the wrong side, and now I get my blade cheater again. And I was just so salty because I hate knockout salted wounds. And it's the reason why I hate QKS. It's not the quick shot, because quick shot really isn't that bad. It's just basically a discount super balloon boost. But it's the knockout salted wounds. That part is what I hate because that just basically gives you forced eco. You're literally forcing your opponent to literally give you eco because they can't do anything about it. They literally can't. It doesn't matter what track power you have, unless it's like, say, Joker Lynch, and you time it just goldenly beautifully to where it does absolutely all the balloons on screen die. Okay, well, they don't die, but, like, you know, it's just, I hate it. I hate it. It's so bad. And just look at the effect of it. Like, it's not even an eco choke, and just look how big of the farm lead is. He has two 2-1 farms. Meanwhile, I just have two 1-1 farms. Like, it's garbage. Because by now I would have had at least the same amount of farms as I had he not done knockout salted wounds. Which is the reason why I hate it, is because it's like another form of eco choke. Right here, he does like a bitch baby yellow rush. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do. So they had one knockout left, and I was like, alright, they're probably gonna just knock out my wizard, and I'm probably gonna have to sell my wizard, re-get it, get lightning. But no, they actually don't knock out my wizard, at least I don't think. I mean, they knock out my wizard, but I don't think it's at this point that they knock it out. But yeah, I'm only posting this just to show that not every match that I have is a win, and not every match that I have here is going to be a win. I get losses too. Right here, he did camo whites, and I was like, come on. Right here is when he knocked out, and then I did glue storm because I was like, come on, really? And this is why I am posting this match too, is because throughout the entire match they're like being toxic. I mean, come on. It was just garbage. Right here, I tried to do damage boost to see if that would do anything, but I mean, since I only had 12 lives, it wouldn't have mattered. And, you know, It just had to be toxic, and I hate it. But, yeah. QKS can suck. Anyways, moving on to our next opponent. Alrighty, so here's our second to last match. This one's actually a really short match, because I don't know what my opponent was doing. But, yeah. So, I also had the Tech Wizard. This was the match right after the toxic QKS Tech Wizard user. They had Tech Heli Boat Farm. Like, lead weakness much? Anyways, I do Eco Choke, and yeah, that hurts them pretty hardly. And then, instead of saving up for a farm, they decide to Balloon Eco. And then right here, they don't put their boat on close, so they lose all these pinks that make them take damage. They sell their boat, and then they forfeit. Because, you know, they... I don't know, like, I mean, there was so much that they could have done. They could have put down tax, because they had tax. They should have put down a farm rather than balloon ecoing, because, I mean, there are so many decisions that they could have done besides forfeiting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll take the win, because, I mean, you know, it's, what, a measly 10 medallions, but, I mean, the fact that they had to surrender because, you know, they couldn't defend Space Pinks when there were so many options for them to defend that. Like, it's not that hard. But anyways, we're going to move on to our final match of the day. Alright, so here's our final match of the day. And yeah, this opponent, I really don't know what they're doing in their head. But yeah, so I'm going to speed this up. So they waited so long, and then they put a 0-0 ninja in the corner where no one will notice. And look at all these balloons that's gonna leak through because they put their ninja in like the most terrible spot. Then right there they put cobras, and I'm just like, really? Really? Cobras? Cobras! Like, come on. So I've forced them to sell their cobras just to get the double shot, which, by the way, really wouldn't have made a difference. Right there, I do a Space Pink just to, like, force some lives lost, because, for starters, the double shot's in a really terrible spot. Okay, and all I'm doing is ecoing, by the way. That's all I'm doing is ecoing. And then I had budget balloons just so that way I could try to eco a little bit better, because this really isn't the best farming map. Right there, they put a banana farm, round 7. I'm just like, really? I'm thinking to myself, what is this opponent doing? They put an ice tower that's just like, what? Oh, 1-1, 2-1? Like, come on. Right here, I do regen yellows, and I believe they rage quit here. Yep, they rage quit at 2 lives. Because they couldn't do their Kobo strategy that they wanted to do. And they had quarter salts just so that way they would be able to outlast their opponent. And banana farm to get eco. Well, for starters, this isn't an eco map. Sure, you can put some banana farms, but there's better banana farms out there. Banana farm maps. Try offside, by the way. Might give you some better results. Then they just put their ninja in like the most terrible spot for this map. There's a reason why you can put your ninja, I don't know, say the middle. Just my 2 cents. But anyways, that's going to do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.